Hi friends, today we are going to solve Find the Winner problem. In this given problem, Andre and Maria have a deck of numbered cards in a pile face down. They play a game where each alternative cards where they alternatively discard and flip cards on the pile from top to bottom. At the beginning of the game, someone will call out even or odd. The first move depends on which is called. If it's even is called, the player's top cards are flipped so that they could see the face value. If instead odd is been called, top card is removed from each deck and discarded, and then each flips her next card. Andre subtract the value of Mario's card from her own cards and adds the result to her score. Likewise, Maria subtract the value of Andre's card from her own and adds the result to her score. So basically, a deck of cards would be given, and here Andres and Marius, all the number of cards would be same. So they will call out its even card they want to see or the odd cards they want to see. So when they would be taking the odd card, so basically, for example, if they are taking the even card, so which even cards would be 0, 2, 4, and it will go until all the deck of the cards have been looked through. So once they call the even card, so zeroth card has been taken out of both Maria's and Andres, and this they would subtract the value. So subtract the value, for example, to calculate the score of Andre, it would be like Andres card minus Maria's card, and likewise for the Maria score it would be Maria's card minus Andres card on that ith position. So this is the basic problem statement, and we will have to calculate all the score and then we'll get the result. So you can also go through and check. For example, let us take a test case. So in this test case, so number 3 would be basically first 3 denoting the total number of cards that Andre had and its value. So first card value would be 1, 2, and 3. Similarly, then number 3 would be denoting the cards of Marios and those values 2, 1, and 3. And even would basically means that even cards would be flipped and the odds one going to get discarded. So only the even values would be checked. For example, when the value is 0, so in that case, Andre would get A0 minus M0, which would be 1 minus 2, to be minus 1. And similarly for Marius. And when you get all these scores, so for example, minus 1 and 0 would be added, and you will get a cumulative score of minus 1. And in this case, it would be plus 1 plus 0 would be cumulative score of 1. So thus Maria's score is more, and thus Maria would win. So this is the basic way of solving this problem. Let us try to write the code. So to write the code, first we will require to have a list, so which would basically contains the Maria and Andre. So basically this list will contain the cards and their face values, and we will also create a variable which will scores, which will save the cumulative score. So here basically when Andres cards would be given, so we will loop through that loop and save those values in our list. So we are not creating another variable to store the input value, we are directly adding that input value in our loop, which would save some space, I would say, although not much, but still, and I like to do in this way. So we will take the int of input. So it's always good to convert your inputs for in range of into input, and here we'll be storing the Maria's card. So there is one more thing to understand, that Andres cards generally in the input sequence, Andres cards come first and then the Maria's cards come. So I made a mistake. I was saving the Maria's card first, and that created a lot of issues. But this is something you could take a notice of. I could do one more thing just to simplify. I think this would create some better. Now here we'll be storing the string, which is basically the value that is been called, whether it is even or odd. So for I in range of 0 to minimum of Andres and Marias. So the loop will only go till the length who has the minimum number of cards. So basically here I'm trying to write Andres name first just to maintain the flow because Andres comes first. So we'll check whether the string value is even or odd. So if it's even, and one more thing we need to check, the I percentage 2 should be equal to 0 in case of even. There could be few more other ways of doing it, but I think it would simplify the problem. So underscore the cumulative score we are going to take, so it will be plus equal to Andres card number ith minus Maria's card number ith, and similarly Maria's score would be cumulative of Maria's card number ith minus Andres card number ith. So always try to provide some blank spaces between your operation. So it is a well-known approach of doing it, and also increases the readability of your problem. So always prefer that. If I percentage 2 is not equal to 0, then in that case we will follow the same logic, but here the ith value would be different. And at last we basically print, let's say print underscore minus Andres and Maria score just to do double checking. And at last we will check if Andres score is greater than Maria score. Print else would be printing Maria. So I have not given blank spaces. It is giving me a recommendation of adding missing white spaces around the operator. So which is an recommended way of doing it. Okay, I messed it up. Now if you could see there is incorrect symbol. So I basically tried earlier when I was writing codes without understanding. I used to do write as per my wish, but there are some certain ways of writing code which if you are doing with IDE it helps you a lot. So let us first run this operation. So this operation is basically the sample input of input 0. So here the output should be Maria, and here the cumulative score of Andre is -1 and Maria is plus 1. Let's check if you're getting the same output. So this is the input for the first. Let's run this. So here you're getting a result of Maria, and Andre's score is -1 and Maria's score is +1. We can also go and check for the input number 2, which is 3123 and 3213, where the value is odd. So in that case, here the Andre would get +1 and Maria -1. So this is the value. So as you can see, Andre's score is +1 and Maria's is -1, which is the expected output, and the value is Andre. So this problem is solved, but one of the biggest issue with this type of problem statement is that you don't understand a lot of input cases are not present. So it will still have certain borderline complications, but at least the approach is almost 90% correct. So that is something you can be happy about if you want to. And yeah, that's all. I think there is not much to do in this problem. And thanks for watching and stay tuned.